Hi, good morning, everyone. Very good morning. Yes, I hope everyone is good. How was your test yesterday? How was the test? Do people give test or not? Yes, how was it? Okay, Nimesh, Nitin, ठीक है. Good, not good. It's okay. Chalo, let's see. Let's discuss the question. In physics, question was not difficult actually, but yes, it needs a slight bit of more practice. If that is there, definitely you will be making it happen. Hai. So I have taken first paper first. So what was the question? Question number 20 I have picked first. Like in the previous classes, I have discussed X-ray tube thing and also modern physics thing. So let's first discuss it. Now what the first thing was? First thing was voltage applied to the X-ray tube is increased. What X-ray tube looked like? There was a tungsten filament kind of thing, and it was getting heated. It was getting heated, and because of that, thermionic emission of electron was happening. Electron was getting generated. This electron was getting accelerated by certain voltage, and it was then falling on the target. This was the target element, target surface, and this after hitting of electron upon this, electromagnetic wave was getting generated. That was happening inside X-ray tube, right? Now let's understand how we will be solving it. Voltage applied to the X-ray tube is increased. If we are increasing the voltage, what will happen? Kinetic energy gained by these electrons will increase. Because V is increasing, kinetic energy, if we write in electron volt, it will be your what? EV. So if voltage is increasing, kinetic energy of electron is increasing. It means whatever collision is happening between electron and the target atom, during that process, more amount of energy will get transferred. Okay? So what will happen first? Voltage applied to the X-ray tube is increased. Average kinetic energy of the electron decreases. Will it decrease or increase? It will increase. So this is not true for the first. Average kinetic energy of the electron increases. Yes. Now second is intensity increases. Intensity का मतलब यहाँ पे क्या हो सकता है? Inside अगर हमने X-ray tube के अंदर के voltage को बढ़ाया, so it's talking about what will happen to the intensity. So intensity of wave that is getting generated, right? So electromagnetic wave gets generated. Its intensity increases means more amount of light will get generated. How it is possible? If more number of collision, effective collision between electron and atom is happening, right? So if electron is gaining more energy, this was the target atom, suppose, and this is the electron. So if electron is having more energy, there is more chance that it will extract or it will knock out the electron from the target atom. So or it will excite electron of the target atom. If it is exciting electron of the target atom, electromagnetic wave will get generated. Then it means more amount of wave will get generated if electron is getting accelerated by higher voltage. So option R also seems what? Correct. Now cutoff wavelength decreases. Cutoff wavelength is what? Minimum wavelength getting generated in the EM wave. Here in the case of X-ray tube. Then, so minimum wavelength getting generated means highest amount of like most energetic photon getting generated. Then, so most energetic photon will get generated when electron will get accelerated here by the high voltage. How? क्योंकि आप देखो collision होता है atom के बीच में और electron के बीच में. If this electron has more energy, definitely it will have tendency to give more energy to the atom. If atom is gaining more energy, it means its electron in the ground state will jump to more higher energy state, right? And if electron is jumping to more higher energy state, what will happen? When it will come back, it will release energy of or photon of higher energy, means cutoff wavelength will what? Decrease. Done. So yes, cutoff wavelength decrease. Cutoff wavelength remains unchanged? No. So first के लिए option क्या होगा? अगर आप carefully देखोगे ना, you will be getting the answer. So for the first we will be getting Q, R, S, all these three. Now come to the option B. In photoelectric effect, work function of the target is increased. So if in photoelectric effect, work function of target is getting increased, what will happen? Average kinetic energy of the electron decreases. Suppose कर लो कि यहाँ पे आपका surface है, इस पे light fall कर रहा है, and here photoelectric effect is happening. Done. So what will happen here? Good morning, very good morning. So what will happen here? Electron यहाँ पे जो photon है और atom है, atom और photon के बीच में क्या होगा? I have discussed it quite. So इनके बीच में collision होगा. During collision, what will happen? Photon will transfer its energy to the atom, and then what will happen? The electron from this atom may come out, and this electron will have high energy. K max हमने पढ़ा है. It will have high energy if energy of photon is more, or if you're going to write simply the equation. So K max का equation मैंने लिखवाया था. That was your energy of photon minus 5. So if energy of electron we have to increase, what we will have to do? We will have to either increase the frequency of light, that is energy of photon, or we can decrease the work function. So if work function of the target is increased, it means what will happen? The average kinetic energy of the electron decreases. Yes, electron की average kinetic energy क्या होगी? यहाँ पे decrease हो जाएगी. It won't increase. Now, so first option is correct. Second wrong. The intensity increases. How here intensity will increase? Intensity of electron or light यहाँ पे वो fit नहीं जा रहा. Done. So intensity we don't need to deal with here. Cutoff wavelength decreases. What is this cutoff wavelength now? So in photoelectric effect, work function of target is increased. Yes. So if work function is increased, then minimum frequency for which photoelectric effect will happen, that will get what? That will get increased. So if frequency is increasing, it means wavelength is what? Decreasing. So if threshold frequency is increasing, it means threshold wavelength is decreasing. Then यानी कि threshold wavelength means cutoff wavelength. So that will decrease. Clear है? Cutoff wavelength remains unchanged? No. Now the de Broglie wavelength of beta ray is increased. De Broglie wavelength का formula क्या था? आपने पढ़ा है. Lambda equal to h by p. That is mv. So de Broglie wavelength of beta rays is, beta rays means ray of electrons, right? So if its wavelength is getting increased, it means what? It means velocity is getting decreased. And if velocity of electron ray is getting decreased, it means its average kinetic energy is what? Decreasing. So its average kinetic energy will decrease. It won't increase. Now intensity of beta ray को कैसे पढ़ सकते हैं? Like intensity is what? Intensity is amount of energy falling per unit area per unit time. Done. So energy per unit area per unit time. So if kinetic energy, average kinetic energy is decreasing, then definitely its intensity, that is energy per unit area per unit time, will not increase. It will also decrease. Done. So again, this is not correct. Cutoff wavelength का यहाँ कोई concept नहीं होगा. So let's not deal with SMT, right? Now the de Broglie wavelength of beta ray decreases. What will happen? De Broglie wavelength is decreasing, it means velocity will increase, and if velocity is increasing means average kinetic energy of electron will increase, and if energy is increasing, its intensity will also increase, because intensity is what? Energy per unit area per unit time. So the correct option for D will be what? It will be Q and R. Okay. So this was your question. This was your answer, right? Now let's come back to the question number 18. Question number 18 आपने आप में से कितने लोगों ने किया? You did question number 18. So let's discuss it. Question is actually easy. If you know the concept, you will be able to do this. Now what the question is, there is a hollow sphere of radius r that rests on a horizontal surface of finite coefficient of friction. So here f is not equal to 0. Done? A point object of mass m moved horizontally. It is moving horizontally. It is hitting this sphere and at a height of r by 2 above the center. So at this height, it is hitting. This is r by 2 over. The collision is instantaneous. For a very short amount of time, collision is happening and point object sticks to sphere after collision. Now, which of the following is correct if object and hollow sphere is taken as system? Then this whole system gas again I have discussed in mechanics. The system is very important, right? यहाँ पे in this question, what is the system? System is our point object plus a sphere. Then these two are system. So if force is getting applied in between these two particles, then that force will be taken as internal force. Then and because of internal force or internal torque, no change in linear momentum of the system or angular momentum of the system will come into account, right? क्योंकि हमने पढ़ा है कि conservation of angular momentum when we do when external torque acting is 0, conservation of linear momentum when external force is acting is 0. What is external or external force or torque? External means whatever is external to the system. So defining a system is very important thing. And here the given system is which is your point object and the sphere. Now total linear momentum of the system is not conserved. It is talking about system ka linear momentum. Will it be conserved or not? Let's see now. What will happen here? This is our sphere. What will happen? There is a point object here hitting it. So this point object will apply a force if on this sphere and Newton's third law ke according, this sphere will also apply a force F on the particle in the opposite direction. So this force is what? Internal force in between these two. Because of this, no change in momentum of system will occur. Now, is this the only force acting? That we will have to check now. So this force is acting at this distance. चलो अब मैं सिर्फ स्फीयर पे फोकस करती हूँ. So what is happening? A sphere पे force लगा F because of that point object, and because of this force, a torque will act on this sphere. Done. And this torque orientation कुछ ऐसा होगा. The way I have drawn here. Now what will happen? This torque will try to rotate this sphere in a clockwise direction. If it is trying to rotate it, what will happen? On the surface, since there is a friction and this force torque is trying to rotate in this sense. So at this point, friction will try to oppose its motion and friction will act. Once it is given in the question ki system आपका hollow sphere or point object or hollow sphere system है. That is given in your question. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे हमारा क्या लगेगा? Force equal to sorry, friction is not 0 na. So here this sphere is trying to move in this direction. So friction will act in this direction. Now you can see here friction is an external force. It is getting acted on the sphere because of the surface it is resting on. Our system is particle plus a sphere. है ना? ये surface was not the part of our system, right? So external force is acting. It means if external force is acting, linear momentum will not remain conserved. So total linear momentum of system is not conserved. This is true. Now, what about the angular momentum? This angular momentum because of this force F is an internal torque, right? But since friction is also acting here, because of this friction also, torque will act. है ना? And what will be the value of torque? Calculate torque around center of mass. So R cross F. So external torque is also acting. Angular momentum conservation will also not hold. Right? So that's the thing. Total angular momentum about center of mass of the system remains conserved. No, it won't remain conserved because external torque is acting. So this is wrong. Now the sphere gets finite angular velocity immediately after collision. Immediately after collision, what will happen? Definitely just after collision is happening, this force during collision, this force F acted, because of that friction force came into action. And if you're going to write the equation of this sphere, then so what you will be writing, मतलब मैं equation लिखने जा रही हूँ because of, just consider this point object and this sphere as a system. Then friction is acting in which direction? Here, capital F force was in between these two particles. So if I'm going to write the FBD of this whole system, F is an internal force, we will cancel that. So we will be writing F equal to M plus MA. This is only external force acting. So like it will have certain amount of finite velocity because it is having acceleration just after the collision. So the sphere moves with finite speed immediately after collision. This is true. Now let's come to the third option. That is, a sphere gets finite angular velocity. It will also get angular velocity because external torque is acting here. Done. So C is also correct, right? So both A, C, and D are what? Correct. So question just needed a basic of your understanding, right? तुम लोग एक काम किया करो, जब भी एग्जाम खत्म होता है, the moment it gets finished ना, your job is not done. What should be your job? Your job should be to go through the question once more. It's not like the exam may you gave it 3 hours, that is enough. No, question analysis is what keeps highest importance. You know, it's not like the attempting or sitting in the exam is all that it requires. Requirement is what you need to sit with question after exam is done. Just try to go through the question, try to solve it, try to see where you went wrong. That is very important. Okay. तो चलो अब यहाँ देखते हैं what the question was. Variation of acceleration of particle moving along x-axis is shown as this. Done. यहाँ पे हमें graph दिया हुआ है. Graph is given of what? Acceleration versus displacement graph is given. And then different things are asked. तो सबसे पहला काम हम क्या कर सकते हैं ना? We can try to write the acceleration as a function of displacement. And this is very easy here because this is an equation of parabola, upward parabola. And its equation used to be what? Y is equal to kx square, right? So here along y-axis it is acceleration. So right here A is equal to k. Along x-axis it is x only. So y A is equal to kx. First write the equation. And now if we know equation, from acceleration we can calculate velocity, from velocity we can calculate displacement, and we can check all these options, right? So let's do this. Now k, this k is unknown, this is a constant. How to find its value? That also is that, for that also a hint is given in your diagram only. यहाँ पे आप देख लो, when x value is equal to 1, when x value is equal to 1, slope of this parabola is how much? 45 degree. यानी कि dA by dx is how much? Slope of this parabola will be how much at any point? dA by dx. dy by dx होता है ना slope. So dA by dx. Now let's differentiate the equation that we have got. So dA by dx, if I'm going to do, it will come as what? 2kx. And dA by dx at this point at x equal to 1 is how much? Is 40 tan, it is tan 45, that is 1. It is when x ka value is 1. So k ka value is how much? Half. So acceleration ka equation aap kya likhoge? Half x square. So this thing we have got. Now this is done. Now let's come back to the options that we need to solve. So first kya hai? X coordinate of the particle upon its velocity becomes 1 meter per second is this. So it's saying that what will be the x coordinate of particle when its velocity is 1 meter. So velocity is a function of x. अगर मुझे पता है, we can easily solve it, right? So चलो let's break the acceleration. Acceleration को आप क्या लिखते हो? dv by dt equal to half x square. Again variables are 3 here, v, t, x. चलो t को eliminate करते हैं क्योंकि that is the requirement of our first option. So let's write here dv by dx into dx by dt. dx dx cut हो जाएगा, अभी भी dv by dt है. So no basic change in the equation, only rearrangement. Now dx by dt can be written as v, velocity. So this is your v dv equal to half kx square dx. This is the equation we have got, right? Now initially the body is at rest now, x equal to 0 और initial position vector क्या है? X equal to 0. So initially x is 0, finally x is x, initially velocity is 0, finally velocity is v. Now solve this thing. So if you're going to solve it, what value you're going to get? You will be getting v square by 2 equal to how much? Half k मैंने लिखा, k का वैल्यू हमें ऑलरेडी पता है. This is k का वैल्यू, मैंने k क्यों लिखा है पता है. ओके डन. हाफ एक्स स्क्वायर है ना. सो एक्स स्क्वायर dx कितना हो जाएगा? x cube by 3 into 2. This is the thing now that we are getting. So v square is equal to x cube by 3. Now if velocity is 1, then x cube by 3 like this. So x will be equal to how much? X will be equal to 3 ka power 1 by 3. So first is correct. Done. Now let's come to the second thing. At x equal to 2 meter, velocity of particle will be. Again, x ka value you put 2 meter, क्योंकि velocity का equation we have got. Now let's try to do that now. So यहाँ पे आप क्या रखोगे? X का value is 2 meter. Then what will be the velocity? So v square by 2 equal to x का value you put 2, 2 का cube by 3. Oh no, 2 got cancelled now. So it is something like this. Now what will be the value for v? V will be equal to how much? 2 का power cube 8 है. So 8 by 3 का power 1 by 2. This much meter per second. So yes, B option is also correct. Now see, at x equal to 2, velocity of particle will be this. No. At x equal to 2, acceleration of the particle will be. So at x equal to 2 meter, acceleration of particle is being asked. So we can simply put it here. है ना? So A is equal to half. X का value क्या रखना है? 2. So put it here, 2 का square. So it will be equal to 2. Done? So yes, this is also true. So A, B, D are the correct option. ठीक है? So देखो question easy था. Only thing is कि you needed to be highly careful. Now let's come to this question. कितने लोग किए थे? अच्छा previous question कितने लोग किए थे? How many of you did previous question? This one? Okay. Done. नहीं किया. Okay. चलो कोई नहीं. टेस्ट के बाद यार क्वेश्चन को डिस्कस किया करो, प्रैक्टिस करो. That will only help you. Otherwise, giving test and keeping the paper aside is not going to help you. I'm telling you. I know it will be quite difficult to sit with 2 papers after giving test, but you know, to get something good, we really need to go with something difficult. I know, because when we don't go with through something difficult, we don't get something good. तो चलो ये सोच के ही difficulty उठा लो. It's very important. Now, this question was what? A particle of mass 1 kg. It is taken from point O to point C. Okay? You are taking a particle from point O to point C. And you are applying what kind of force? You are applying this kind of force. Okay? W1 is what? And W2 is what? W1 is work done when you take the particle to C point through O to A first and then A to C like that. And second time, you are taking the particle directly from O to C. Then, so we have to take the particle from O to C. There are 2 different ways for it. First, you took it to A and then to C, and in the second way, you are directly taking it to C. So, in the first process, in this process, work done is indicated as W1, and in this process, work done is indicated as W2. So in the question, it is asked, what will be the value of W1 and W2? How you will calculate that? So the very first thing that I'm going to do is force is given. Displacement vector you write. So displacement vector को अगर मैं dr से denote करूँ, so dr can be written as dx I cap plus dy z cap. dz k cap I'm not writing because my particle is present in xy plane and it's moving also in the xy plane. So चलो k cap को neglect करते हैं. So this is the displacement happening. Force acting is how much? This is equal to x square y square I cap plus j cap. Done. What used to be the work done? Work done क्या होता है हमारा? Work done used to be our F dot dr. So simple steps से जाओ, whatever formula you know, just do it. So इफ डॉट डी आर अगर आप करोगे तो आई डॉट आई होगा, जे डॉट जे होगा, आई डॉट जे 0 हो जाएगा एंड जे डॉट आई भी क्या हो जाएगा 0. ठीक है. So what value we are going to get? X square y square dx plus x square y square dy. This is the work done that we are going to get, right? Now let's focus on the path W1. Let's calculate first the W1. Inside W1 first, let's focus over O to A. So when the particle is moving from O to A, what is happening here? Here, X component, X position vector of the particle is changing, right? But Y position vector of the particle is remaining constant. Y value is here how much? 0. So if you're going to put Y equal to 0, because when particle is moving from O to A, Y is 0. And work done is this. So if you're going to put Y equal to 0, work done during trajectory, O to A will be what? 0. So this is 0. Now, let's see the work done when particle is moving from A to C. Second one. Okay? So A to C. Now, when the particle is going from A to C, what is happening? Y is changing, but X is constant, right? And constant value of X is how much? 1. It's not 0. So here what you will be doing, you will be putting X equal to 1. So आप X को 1 put कर दो यहाँ पे work done के formula में, and what is happening? X is constant. It means during this process dx equal to 0 है, क्योंकि X is constant when you are moving from A to C. So also put dx equal to 0. Now if you're going to put X equal to 1, dx equal to 0, it will come at 0 plus y square dy. Done. And if you're going to integrate it, total work done if you're going to get done. So what value you will be getting? Y is changing from where to where? It is changing from 0 to 1. So here you put 0 to 1. What will be the value? Y cube by 3. So it will be 1 by 3 joule. So O to A, no work done. A to C, work done is 1 by 3 joule. So W1 value will be how much? 1 by 3 joule. So first is the correct option. Now let's calculate the work done when particle is moving from O to C. So if it is going from O to C, how we will use this work done wala equation? इसको चलो dW लिखो ज़्यादा बेहतर, ठीक है? So dW value is how much? Small work done x square y square dx plus x square y square dy. When you're going from O to C, dx is also changing. Sorry, x is also changing, y is also changing. So dx is non-zero, dy is non-zero. Now, but one important thing here is what? If you see carefully, here x by y value will be equal to what? 1. Can you see here? Slope of this line is equal to how much? This is 1 by 1. So x by y is how much? 1. Then it means x is equal to y. So up अपने convenience according, you have to integrate this, right? X square y square dx plus y square x square dy. Then in this equation, you can see x is a variable, y is a variable getting differentiated with respect to x. So try changing y to x. Y square can be written as x square because x is equal to y. So now you do that here. So this will be x4 dx plus accordingly we will do here for the convenience of calculation y4 dy. If you are going to solve it, you are going to get x5 by 5. Again, x value will change from 0 to 1. So this is 0 to 1 plus y5 by 5. Again, this will change from 0 to 1. So what answer you are going to get here? It will give us 1 by 5. It will give us 1 by 5. So W2 will be 2 by 5 joule. So here W1 is 2 by 5. No. W2 is how much? 2 by 5. So the correct answer will be A and C. Okay. So this were your answer. Now this was a question from wave optics. I've also dealt with wave optics also. So how many of you did this question? Let me know. कितने लोगों ने किया this one? ओके चलो ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं, इस पे फोकस करते हैं कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते थे. ठीक है, सो यू जस्ट नीड टू यूज योर बेसिक ऑफ वेव ऑप्टिक्स. अगेन दिस वाज नॉट अ टू लेंथी क्वेश्चन, only you needed to be very much confident about wave optics. So what the question is, White light is used to illuminate two slits in young double slit experiment. So we are using not monochromatic source, we are using white light. So white light will have several wavelengths, right? Now what is happening? Separation between slits is D. This separation is given as small d, and distance between these two is capital D. Approximation is true here. It's given that D is far greater than small d. At a point on the screen, now read the question carefully. At a point on the screen, directly in front of one of the slit. So ये एक slit ले लो, इसके directly in front means इसके directly सामने. In front of it, what it is asking, certain wavelengths are missing. Here certain wavelengths are missing. So what these missing wavelengths can be? This was the question, right? Missing wavelengths means, like in YDSC experiment, I have told you, or your teachers must have taught you, that at some point you will get maxima, and at some point you will get what? Minima. Minima means dark points. Dark point ka matlab, no light is present there, means no light is present there means कोई भी wavelength का light यहाँ पे नहीं है. Done. So if this is if some wavelengths are missing from here, then it means that for those wavelengths it must be a dark point, right? If some wavelength is missing from this point, it means here for those wavelengths minima is getting formed, right? So try to calculate कि चलो मैं assume कर लेती हूँ एक लाइट तो ऐसे directly यहाँ से जाएगा, second is coming from here, right? Now what will be the path difference between these two lights? First light is covering a distance of d, second light is covering how much distance? So you just calculate this distance. This is how much? D, and this is how much? Capital D. So this distance will be how much? D square plus D square root under. Then now calculate the path difference. So what will be the path difference here? आप delta x को लिख लो directly. This is greater now. So greater से smaller को minus कर लो. D square plus D square minus D. Now you can very carefully or very easily see that this is a very tough calculation to do and get some answer. But just look at the approximation given here and just remember what is that called जो आप लोग पढ़ते हो combination series में पढ़े होगे ना polynomial series. Done. So उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं हम लोग कैसे? तो d square plus d square का पावर क्या लिखोगे? हाफ माइनस d. अगेन लेट्स डू समथिंग. d स्क्वायर कैपिटल d स्क्वायर को कॉमन ले लो, अब तो वो बाहर आएगा तो d हो जाएगा और यहाँ पे क्या बचेगा? 1 plus d square by d square, 1 by 2 minus d. पोलिनोमियल सीरीज में आपने पढ़ा होगा कि if equation is something like this and if here x is far greater than 1, then this can be written as 1 plus nx, right? We can write it like this. If it is minus, we will be writing 1 minus x. Now here 1 plus x, in place of x here what we are getting? D square by d. Again here it is given that d is far greater than small d. It means d is far less than d. So d by d will be far less than 1. Square है और भी less होगा. Done. So definitely this is very less than 1. So here we can use that formula. तो आप यहाँ पे क्या लिखोगे? d into 1 plus 1. इसको 1 ले लो. 1 plus how much power it is? n. यहाँ पे power n था तो n into x किया. यहाँ पे power half है तो half into d square by d square minus d. Now you just see the things carefully. I'm going to write it here. ठीक है? So आप क्या लिखोगे? Next step will be what? Just to write it. So just see carefully. Half d square by d, क्योंकि चलो d square लिखती हूँ. यहाँ पे भी d multiply होगा ना. And this is minus d. That is our delta x. So delta x will be equal to how much? It will be equal to d square by 2. Done. And if this path difference is equal to for whatever wavelength is missing here, for those wavelengths, this is the minima, right? So this must be equal to how much you will be writing? 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Now which wavelengths will be missing? We can calculate that lambda from here. So 2 को आप cancel कर दो. What you will be writing here? Lambda will be equal to how much? D square by d, 2n plus 1. And here n will start from 0. Done. So for n equal to 0, wavelength value will be how much? D square by d. So d square by d will be missing. This is true. Now for n equal to 1, we will be getting how much? 3. So d square by 3d. This will be true. Again, n equal to 3 अगर हम यहाँ रखते हैं, we will be getting or n equal to 2 रखते हैं, we will be getting 5. D square by 5d. No such options are there. So A and C are what? Correct. ठीक है. So I hope you all got it. Any doubt in this? चलो बता दो, कुछ डाउट है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो. नहीं है. चलो. Again, this question was also easy. In paper 1, paper 2 also, physics portion was easy in the yesterday paper, I feel. So means easy क्यों कह रही हूँ? क्योंकि लेंदी नहीं था. If you know the concept, you would have done it. Not much calculation was involved. तो चलो यहाँ पे देखते हैं क्या चल रहा है. There is a horizontal force applied on block B. Which one is block B? Bottom one is block B, top one is block A. Mu S, mu K for every surface is given here, and these are the options. So सबसे पहले आप ये देखो, यहाँ पे एक block है, done, and its mass is 15 kg, and its mass is how much? 5 kg. This is first surface, and this is second surface. Done. Now, what the first question is? Magnitude of limiting frictional force on A. So, if we have to calculate friction force, we need to calculate normal reaction. So, let's write the FVD of both 5 kg and 15 kg. चलो ये काम करते हैं. So for 5 kg, if I'm going to write, it will have gravitational force acting downward equal to how much? 5g, that is 50 Newton. And this is resting on 15 kg body. So this surface will do what? 5 kg body will try to press the 15 kg body. So 5 kg body will apply downward direction force on the 15 kg body in downward direction. And by Newton's third law, it will apply a force in the upward direction. So that is, let's call it N1. Okay, no, the forces are acting on 5 kg body, right? Now you can write it something like N1 will be equal to 50, because this is in rest. So limiting friction, how we calculate limiting friction? Mu S into N. So what is the value of mu S for the first surface? That is 0.3 into 50. So it will be 15 Newton. So that first one is true. Now let's calculate limiting friction for the second surface. Okay, because it's asking magnitude of limiting friction on B. So let's focus on B now. If you're going to draw again the free body diagram of B, here for the external force, nothing is getting talked about. So chalo, in the second option, we are not talking anything about external force. So let's assume that is 0 for now. 15 kg body is like this. Now reaction force of 5 kg body, you write that was how much? N1. Again, this is resting on ground also. So it will try to press ground downward. Ground will apply on it a force in the upward direction. That is equal to, suppose, N2. And gravitational force on it will act in the downward direction. Now this is in raised in the vertical direction. Then no motion is happening in vertical direction. So all the forces in vertical direction will be equal to 0. Kya forces lag rahe? N2 will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 15g, matlab 150 plus. How much is the N1? N1 value is 50. So this is equal to how much? 200. Now this is equal to 200. What is the value of limiting friction? कैसे निकालेंगे हम लोग? Again mu s n2 करोगे आप लोग, ठीक है? Mu s n2. What is this value of mu s? That is 5 by 10 into 200. So what value you are going to get? 100 mu. Done. So B is also true. B is true. Now if F equal to 50 Newton, suppose this external force is 50 Newton acting on the second block, right? Then friction force between A and B is 0. Between A and B is 0. It is same. जैसे आप देख लो, what is the case here? This is your 15 kg block and this is your what? 5 kg. Now to move it, if this is moving, like just see here, if 5 kg, if external force is acting, and this external force will be able to move 15 kg body only if this external force is greater than 100 Newton. Because for 15 kg body, we have seen that this is what? Limiting friction is how much? 100 Newton. So anything greater than 100 Newton will only be able to move it. If anything is less than 100 Newton, it won't put any effect on 15 kg body. And if this is not moving, 5 kg body on it will also be in rest. Then, so if it is in rest, all the system are in rest. It means what? Friction force between A and B will be what? Between A and B will be what? 0. क्यों? जैसे मैं ये कह रही हूँ, you just try to see it more carefully. ठीक है? जैसे external force acting is how much? External force acting is 50 Newton. Now here limiting friction value for the first surface is how much? 100 Newton. But external is 50. So friction is an adjustable force, no? Self-adjustable. So friction force acting will also be 50 Newton here on the first surface. Now what for the second surface? Here for the second surface, friction will only act if anything is trying to move the 5 kg body. If nothing is trying to move the 5 kg body, then no friction will act. Done. So on 5 kg body, no external force wala thing is there. Done. So friction force acting for the second surface will be what? 0. That is A and B is 0. So that also seems true. That is also true. Now let's come to the option D. If F is equal to 110 Newton, then friction force between A and B. Now, if friction force is 110, what will be the case? This is 110. And limiting friction for the first surface is how much? 100. So definitely this force is going to move the body, move the 15 kg body. And if 15 kg body is going to move, what will happen? Suppose you are sitting on the top of a bus. Bus started moving. You will feel the jerk, right? Done. And if you're feeling the jerk, what will happen? That friction force between you and the surface of bus will try to make you stable, and it will apply friction force opposite to the direction of surf. Then similar thing will happen here. 110 Newton force here, limiting friction is 100. So definitely this system is going to move. How much how much effective force 15 kg of this system will experience? 10 Newton. Done. So what will be the acceleration here? Acceleration we can say will be net force, that is 10, by whole system mass, that is 20. So something like half. Done. So bus started with how much velocity, how much acceleration? Half meter per second square. Now because of this acceleration, what is going to happen? You all know about pseudo force wala thing. जानते हो ना? So चलो मैं next page में करती हूँ. So what will happen here? This system started moving with acceleration half meter per second square. Now, suppose I am standing here and I am trying to write the equation of this 5 kg by sitting on the bus. Then I am calling B as the bus. Now, I will have to apply pseudo force here. Then pseudo force we will apply in the opposite direction. How much? MA. Then mass of A, mass of this body into acceleration of the system. So how much it will be? 5 into 1 by 2. So this much external jerk, this 5 kg block will experience, and opposite to it friction will act, and it will apply either limiting friction if this external force is greater than or equal to limiting friction. If not, then this friction force will be equal to the external force getting applied. How much it is? 2.5. And here the limiting friction was 15 Newton. So definitely it is less than that. It means friction force will be equal to 2.5. So the answer will be what? 2.5. This is correct. Done. Got it, everyone? We need to be aware about how to use pseudo force wala concept. Even if you don't use that, you can also solve this question. How? Suppose I'm not going to use the pseudo force wala thing, but this system is accelerating forward in the forward direction. You are sitting over the top of a bus and bus is accelerating by acceleration this. So you are also getting accelerated by acceleration this. है ना, आप भी accelerate हो रहे हो. So there must be some force acting on you in this direction. Then क्योंकि वो जो 110 न्यूटन है that was directly acting on the A only ना. So on you also there must be some force acting in this direction. So in this direction, which force can act then? Friction only. Then so here friction will help in the motion. क्योंकि friction always oppose relative motion. It is not always against the motion. It is always against relative motion. So यहाँ पे friction किसके बराबर हो जाएगा? Mass into acceleration. So from any frame you can solve it. No issue. Clear है? किसी को doubt है? Anyone? If you are having question हो सकता था, है ना? Was it easy or not? क्या हुआ? सभी इतने शांत क्यों? What happened? So much silence. Okay. Chalo, I'm considering you are having no doubt. Now, how many of you did this question? Question number this. How many of you did it? Yes, let me know. Okay, you did it. Okay. Done. So the question is actually very much easy. That is why I've included it here. Our target is to focus on easy and average question, है ना? So that is why it is here. Now, what the question is? देखो देखने में ये काफी पेचीदा लग रहा है. पेचीदा in the sense it's looking very much complicated, but it's not actually. What looks complicated used to be easy. Figure shows a potentiometer. Potentiometer कौन सा है? This one is your potentiometer, है ना? Done. And this is connected to an external circuit. What is the external circuit? Whatever here rest of potentiometer is external circuit. So this is your external circuit. Now, at an instant, either switch S1 and S3. S1 and S3 is closed. S1 and S3 together. In one situation is closed, or in another situation it may be the S2 and S4. S4 is here, S2 and S4 are closed. Now, when switch S1 and S3 is closed, null point is obtained at J1 and distance of AJ1 is how much? L1. And when S2 and S4 is closed, null point is J2 and that BJ2, distance measured from B is how much? That is L2. So if L1 plus L2, it is given that if it is equal to K into 10, then we have to tell the value of K, right? This is the question. तो चलो हम लोग पहले फर्स्ट सीन में जाते हैं. फर्स्ट सीन में हमारा क्या है? Which switch is closed? Which switch is closed? S1 and S3. तो चलो क्लोज करते हैं. इसको क्लोज कर दिया और इसको क्लोज कर दिया. डन. सो हमारा सर्किट कैसा हो गया? Our circuit will look like external circuit will be this only, है ना? Because this portion is disconnected now, so external circuit में this part is not going to come. Then so this one is my external circuit. Now if this point is J1, suppose this point is J1, then so AJ1 length given is how much? L1. Now, what will be the potential drop across AJ1? Then it will have this length, AJ1 will have some potential drop, right? So, like how we solve the potentiometer? Potentiometer solve करने का तरीका ये होता है कि first you solve the potentiometer circuit, then you solve the external circuit. Your potentiometer's question is solved. तो चलो मैं पहले potentiometer circuit को solve करती हूँ. My potentiometer circuit, we need to make potentiometer question easy by understanding circuit separately, potentiometer circuit and external circuit. ठीक है? So this is your 10 ohm, this is your 20 volt, and then this is your wire AB, and AB ka resistance kitna given hai, that is 10 ohm again, 10. So this is my potentiometer circuit. What will be the current in potentiometer circuit? 10 ohm are in series. So current in the potentiometer circuit is how much? 20 by 20, that is 1 ampere. So this 1 ampere current is flowing. It means how much voltage is dropping across 10 ohm, 10 volt, and how much voltage will drop across whole length of AB, 10 volt. Done. So potentiometer circuit is short now. Done. It means across A and B, total voltage drop is how much? 10 volt. Now, what will be the drop across AJ1? How much? If this length is L, suppose potential gradient I am calculating here. Phi is volt, potential drop per unit length. How much length it has? 100 meter. So total potential drop is how much? 10 volt. Total length is how much? 100 meter. So potential drop per unit length is how much? 0.1. And if at L1 length we are getting balanced point, it means potential drop on AJ1, potential drop on AJ1 will be equal to how much? 0.1 L1. Okay. So this is the potential drop. We have solved potentiometer circuit. Now we need to solve the external circuit. ठीक है, तो चलो मैं यहाँ पे आई एम गोइंग स्लोली सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स. ठीक है, अब देखो यहाँ पे ध्यान से देखना तुम लोग. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? पोटेंशियल एट ए, चलो मैं इसके पोटेंशियल को वी ए मान रही हूँ. पोटेंशियल एट जे, सपोज इस पॉइंट के पोटेंशियल को वी जे मान रही हूँ. सो वी ए माइनस वी जे कितना मिला मुझे? 0.81 L1 अकॉर्डिंग टू पोटेंशियोमीटर सर्किट. According to external circuit, VA minus VJ किसके बराबर हो? Let's see that now. So यहाँ पे आप देखो, this is connected. So if this point has potential VJ, this point will have potential VJ. क्यों? क्योंकि null point का मतलब ही होता है galvanometer is showing no deflection. It means no current is flowing through this. It means whatever voltage is here, same voltage is here, because if current is not flowing, it means potential difference between 2 points is 0. लाइक अगर एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट पे करंट नहीं जा रहा है, वायर का भी कोई ब्रेकिंग नहीं है, वायर कनेक्टेड है, बट स्टिल करंट नहीं जा रहा. इट मींस दिस टू पॉइंट्स हैव द सेम पोटेंशियल ना. इन टर्म ऑफ पोटेंशियल दिस टू पॉइंट्स आर सेम. सो ये भी वीजे होगा. अगेन यहाँ पे तो कोई रजिस्टर है नहीं कि पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप करेगा. सो यहाँ भी पोटेंशियल क्या होगा? वीजे होगा. ठीक है, सो यहाँ भी वीजे हो गया. नाउ let's focus on VA. So यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल है VA. अगेन यहाँ भी पोटेंशियल. वायर के क्रॉस पोटेंशियल क्या होता है? ड्रॉप नहीं करता. रेजिस्टर्स के क्रॉस ड्रॉप करता है. यहाँ पे मुझे कोई रजिस्टर नहीं मिला, कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं मिला है, नो पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप. अगेन यहाँ भी पोटेंशियल क्या मान सकते हैं? VA. सो VA माइनस VJ, यू कैन सी क्लियरली दिस इज 5 वोल्ट. दिख रहा है एक्सटर्नल सर्किट से? VA माइनस VJ क्या है? 5 वोल्ट है. सो व्हाट यू विल बी राइट now 0.1 L1 will be equal to 5. Both external and internal potentiometer circuit we have solved. Now what will be the value of L1? 15 meter. So L1 मिल गया मुझे. अब देखो external circuit second case में दूसरा होगा, but potentiometer circuit will remain same, है ना. So second case के लिए चलो potentiometer external circuit को फिर से solve करते हैं. अब केस क्या हो रहा है? इसको close कर लो. अब इसको क्लोज कर रहे हो एंड इट इज गेटिंग ओपन. सो इस सर्किट में अब हमें डील ही नहीं करना है, इस सर्किट में डील करना है, राइट. सो इफ दिस पॉइंट हैज पोटेंशियल VJ, this point will have potential VJ. Similarly, this point will have potential VJ. Now B point, if you're talking about, so B has potential if VB, so VB potential will be same here also, same. So what is the value of VJ minus VB? See carefully. This is VJ. This is positive terminal. So VJ minus VB. Done. So VJ minus VB equal to how much? That is equal to 3 volt. Now what will be the drop on this length? If this length is L2 and potential drop per unit length is how much? That is equal to 0.1. So if this is L2, potential drop will be how much? 0.1 L2. Now what will be the value of L2? 30 meter. So L1 plus L2 is how much? That is your 80 meter. So K into 10, 8 into 10 it is equal to ना. So K का वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा हमारा? K का वैल्यू हो जाएगा 8. Everyone done? Got it? सबका हो गया? चलो ठीक है. ये क्वेश्चन कितने लोगों ने किया? If internal resistance of battery is not given. Okay. अच्छा, you are talking about potentiometer circuit ना? अगर आपके potentiometer circuit में once you are talking about potentiometer circuit है ना? देखो potentiometer circuit हमेशा ही बहुत सिंपल होता है. इसके पास internal resistance हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. ये वायर होगा, ठीक है? ऐसा. Then this is potentiometer circuit in simple. लेकिन अगर एक से ज्यादा बैटरी दिया है, सपोज कर लो कुछ ऐसा दे दिया, ऐसा दिया, सबका इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस कुछ स्मॉल आर है, and then this system is connected to a wire AB. This can also be the potentiometer, no? How you will calculate that? तो देखो ये potentiometer circuit हमेशा एक single loop circuit होता है. This always used to be single loop circuit. Done. And if this is a single loop, it means whatever instrument is there, all are in series. So here all the batteries are in series. Now how we will add them in series? That's the important here. So for adding batteries in series, just try to check which one is trying to send current in which direction. So for first, if I see, it will try to send current. Okay. Once क्या question है आपका? You are asking with respect to potentiometer or in general? अच्छा ठीक है, अगर आप जनरल भी पूछ रहे हो ना तो आप ऐड कर सकते हो सिंपल लाइक की. लेट मी फर्स्ट चेक यू डाउट वंस. अगर दो से ज्यादा बैटरी कनेक्टेड है तो अगेन हाउ दे आर कनेक्टेड इज इंपॉर्टेंट ना. आर दे इन सीरीज और पैरेलल? ठीक है, अगर वो सीरीज में है तो आप कैसे कनेक्ट चेक करोगे? जैसे यहाँ पे सिंगल लूप है, सीरीज में है, तो जस्ट सी कि फर्स्ट बैटरी विल ट्राई टू सेंड करंट इन विच डायरेक्शन? इन दिस डायरेक्शन. सेकंड विल ट्राई टू सेंड करंट इन दिस डायरेक्शन. थर्ड will try to send current in this direction. Fourth will try to send current in this direction. Done. So this two will cancel each other. This two will cancel each other. Done. Net zero. समझ रहे हो? Done. So इस तरह से हम लोग चेक करते हैं सीरीज में. पैरेलल के लिए आपने फॉर्मूला पढ़ा होगा ना? E effective by R effective is equal to what? E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus dot dot, where 1 by R effective can be written as 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus dot dot. Done. So this was the formula for parallel combination of cells, and this was the formula for series. Not formula, here also you need to apply the logic. सीरीज के लिए फॉर्मूला तो हम लोग डायरेक्ट ऐसे लिखते हैं, E1 plus E2 plus dot dot En, बट प्लस माइनस, प्लस कहाँ करेंगे, माइनस कहाँ करेंगे, वो चेक करना होगा. फॉर दैट यू विल चेक द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ करंट. ठीक है, अगर सपोज कर लो कि आपके पास 10 सेल है, ठीक है, इसमें से कोई 8 सेल सारे, मतलब मैक्सिमम सेल इस डायरेक्शन में करंट सेंड कर रहे थे, बट योर वन सेल इज सेंडिंग करंट इन दिस डायरेक्शन. सो व्हाट यू विल डू, 10 से 1 को क्या कर दोगे, माइनस कर दोगे. ठीक है, क्योंकि सारे के सारे इस डायरेक्शन में करंट सेंड कर रहे हैं, बट वन इज सेंडिंग करंट इन दिस डायरेक्शन. सो यू विल, हाँ, R1 R2 ना हो तो डायरेक्टली R1 R2, जैसे अगर ये R1 R2 ना हो सीरीज में ना हो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये फॉर्मूला हम फिर भी यूज कर पाएंगे. डन. क्योंकि ई इफेक्टिव निकालने में आर का कोई रोल नहीं. डन. तो हम यूज कर पाएंगे. बट यस, पैरेलल में प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, क्योंकि ई इफेक्टिव निकालने के लिए आर इफेक्टिव पता होना चाहिए, और आप कह रहे हो कि आर है ही नहीं, जीरो है, तो वहां पे हम लोग किरचॉफ्स लॉ यूज करेंगे फिर. डन. जैसे अगर हमारा बैटरी कुछ ऐसे है एंड दिस is connected to some load. Done. So what we can do, suppose this is E1, this is E2. Okay, this will try to send current in this sense. Suppose ये I1 current send कर रहा है, this is sending current I2. So this load will receive I1 plus I2 current. This I1, I2 you can very simply calculate by writing KVL in this loop and then by writing KVL in this big wala loop. Very easy to calculate again, na? Is it clear? Or anything else you want to know? Okay, thank you so much. ये क्वेश्चन कितने लोगों ने किया? Let me know. इस क्वेश्चन में कुछ नहीं करना था, बस तुम्हें क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से देखना था. नहीं किया, करना था. देखो इस क्वेश्चन में कुछ भी नहीं है. क्वेश्चन इसकी देख के ही समझ में आ रहा है आंसर 0 होगा. कैसे? क्वेश्चन क्या दिया होता है कि इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल है, कहाँ रखा हुआ है? इट इज केप्ट एट द सेंटर ऑफ व्हाट? at the center of this dipole. Done. Now how this loop is kept, that is very important here. So this was kept in which plane? Question पढ़ लेते हैं. There is an electric dipole placed along x-axis. Dipole is placed along the x-axis with its dipole moment vector pointing along the x-axis. Then a fixed circular wire frame lies in yz plane. Okay, it is lying in yz plane. Done. And plane in which dipole is kept is which plane? XY plane. Dipole is kept in XY plane with dipole directing towards the x-axis. Done. And my loop is in which plane? YZ plane. Now what is happening? 4 identical charges plus Q is fixed to wire frame. Done. What is the work done by an external agent in slowly turning the dipole through 180 degree from initial orientation? Okay. Where the charges are kept. Plus Q1 is kept at along the y-axis. Okay. This plus Q and plus Q are kept along the y-axis, and another plus Q and plus Q are kept along z-axis. Both, all these 4 charges are on the circumference. Now, देखो यहाँ पे मैंने एक ये यूज किया, जैसे ये एक बैंगल है, चूड़ी है. अगर मैं इसको बोलूं ये ऐसा है और मेरा डाइपोल का एक्सिस सपोज कर लो ये, मतलब इस लूप का एक्सिस एक्स एक्सिस की तरफ. ठीक है. ये लूप मेरा किधर प्लेस्ड है? YZ प्लेन में. Y किसको बुला रहे हैं हम लोग? Y इसको बुला रहे हैं. ठीक है. Y is sorry, not Y is not this line is Z. ठीक है. ये लाइन क्या है तुम्हारा? Z है. This is X, so Y is this is Y. Done. This is our Y. ठीक है. This is your Y. समझ रहे हो ना डायग्राम कैसा है? कुछ ऐसा है. अब देखो चार्जेस कहाँ कहाँ केप्ट है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. 2 चार्जेस आर केप्ट अलोंग द वाई एक्सिस. सो वन इज हियर एंड अनदर इज हियर, जस्ट डायमेट्रिकली ऑपोजिट. Q is here, Q is here. Another Q is on the top, another Q is at the bottom. तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे लूप को अलग से बना दूं यहाँ पे, तो मैं ये कहूंगी कि एक चार्ज मेरा यहाँ है Q Q. ठीक है. Another charge is here and charge is here. So if you see carefully, what will be the value of electric field at the center? What will be the value of electric field at the center? Because electric field because of this plus Q in this direction, because of this plus Q in this direction, both equal and opposite. है ना? So net electric field because of these 2 charges 0. Similarly, because of these 2 charges 0. At the center, electric field is 0, right? And at the center only my dipole is kept. Dipole का dimension क्या होता है? बहुत छोटा होता है ना? So it is somewhat shifted. 1 minus Q charge is somewhat, if you call this as the center of that loop. So minus Q is slightly shifted from the center. Plus Q of dipole is slightly shifted away from the center. But again, this shifting is very small, right? Because dipole size used to be what? Very, very small. Dipole size used to be very, very small. So we can assume that whatever electric field is as the center, same electric field this dipole will experience, because this dipole is very small, right? Then if electric field is 0, like initially what will be the potential energy of dipole? Minus P dot E. E is zero now, so initial potential energy zero. Finally, in whatever orientation you are taking it to, there also potential energy will be what? Zero. So no work is getting done here. Done. So work done will be here what? Zero. We just needed to understand the diagram, nothing else. यहाँ पे कुछ solve नहीं करना. Got it? Got it, everyone? देखो कभी कभी क्वेश्चन ना हम उसके शक्ल देखकर ही उसका छोड़ देते हैं. यस यस वंस करेक्ट. नहीं पोटेंशियल जीरो नहीं होगा. सिमेट्रिक सर्किट है बट पोटेंशियल जीरो नहीं होगा ना. वंस यहाँ पे सारे पॉजिटिव चार्जेस हैं. So because of all these positive charges, potential at the center is not going to be zero. Potential at the center will have some value. If this distance is r, then it will be 4 into kq by r. It is not zero, but electric field is zero. And potential energy of dipole will depend on the electric field, right? That is why zero. ठीक है. चलो ये क्वेश्चन कितने लोगों ने किया? क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी, बहुत ज्यादा. देखो जब भी हमें चार्ज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का क्वेश्चन दिया हो ना, सपोज हमें क्वेश्चन ये दिया है कि कोई भी एक प्लेट है जिसपे चार्ज गिवन है. हियर देयर इज समथिंग इज गिवन नाउ. Then 3 conducting plates are there. You can see 3 conducting plates. Outer plates are neutral and connected by conducting wire. So outer plates पे हमने क्या कर दिया? Conducting wire से connect कर दिया. मतलब जो यहाँ पे potential होगा, जो यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल होगा वही यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल. दे आर कनेक्टेड बाय कंडक्टिंग वायर्स. सो दोनों प्लेट का पोटेंशियल सेम हो गया वायर कनेक्शन की वजह से. इनर प्लेट इज आइसोलेटेड. इनर प्लेट क्या है? आइसोलेटेड है एंड इट इज गिवन हाउ मच चार्ज? 10 माइक्रो. आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम मींस इट्स चार्ज विल रिमेन कंजर्व. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन? आउटर प्लेट्स हमारा क्या है? न्यूट्रल है. देखो ये प्लेट भी न्यूट्रल है, इस पे कोई चार्ज नहीं दिया गया. ये प्लेट भी न्यूट्रल है, इस पे कोई चार्ज नहीं दिया. सो फाइनली दिस थिंग्स आर नॉट आउटर प्लेट और both the outer plates are not connected to any battery. So if its initial charge is 0, final charge will also be 0. तो अब हमें चार्ज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना होगा. हाउ वी विल डू दैट? सपोज कर लो to the middle plate you are giving how much charges? To the middle plate you have given 10 microcoulomb. So suppose some of its charge is getting collected on outer surface, some of its charge is getting collected on inner bottom surface, such that q1 plus q2 will be equal to how much? 10. That is for sure. Now what will happen because of q1 charge on the outer surface of middle plate? So this plate is facing another neutral plate. Now this neutral plate is present here. And this neutral plate is conducting. It will have free charges. So if positive charge q1 is present here, what this will do? It will attract negative charge of neutral plate towards itself, and positive charge will get collected outside. Same positive charge. It's neutral, no? So if q1 charge is there, we solve it like this. If q1 charge is there, it will attract minus q1 charge here. So plus q1 charge will go outside. Okay. Similarly, in the bottom part, things will happen. This q2 positive charge will attract q2 negative charge here, and q2 positive charge will get connected outside. So it will look something like this. Charge distribution. इस तरह से करना है तुम्हें. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है कि ये प्लेट इस प्लेट से कनेक्टेड है. दोनों का पोटेंशियल क्या होगा? सेम. तो चलो मैं एक चीज अब यहाँ पे करती हूँ. And that one thing is that कि चलो इसके पोटेंशियल को मैं V मान लेती हूँ. So इसका पोटेंशियल भी क्या हो जाएगा? V. Both are connected. Now let's assume its potential is V1. So here you can see 2 capacitors, है ना? एक ये कैपेसिटर है, एक ये कैपेसिटर. दोनों ही कैपेसिटर क्या है? दोनों के बीच का पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस क्या दिख रहा है? सेम V1 माइनस V. समझ रहे हो ना? V1 माइनस V है. डन. दोनों का पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अगर सेम है तो हम लोग पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस को कैसे लिख सकते हैं? सीरीज में नहीं होगा, पैरेलल में होगा. वंस दे आर नॉट इन सीरीज. ऐसा लग रहा है कि रखे हुए जिस तरह से आपने रखा है ना, दैट वे ऑफ प्लेसमेंट इज शोइंग कि दे आर इन सीरीज. But capacitor will be in parallel if their potential difference are same now. So फर्स्ट कैपेसिटर मैं इसको C1 मानती हूँ, इसको C2 मानती हूँ। C1 के क्रॉस पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस क्या है? V1 माइनस V। C2 के क्रॉस क्या है? V1 माइनस V। दे आर इन पैरेलल, नॉट इन सीरीज। ठीक है, अगर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको C इक्विवेलेंट निकालना होता तो आप कैसे निकालते? इसका C1, इसका C2। C1 का वैल्यू आप क्या लिखोगे? एप्सिलॉन नॉट, एरिया सेम है दोनों ही प्लेट का, सेपरेशन बिटवीन दिस टू प्लेट्स इज हाउ मच? 5। नाउ C2 विल बी हाउ मच? एप्सिलॉन नॉट A by 8। सेंटीमीटर है, मीटर में कन्वर्ट करोगे। ठीक है, C इक्विवेलेंट क्या होता है? C1 प्लस C2, बिकॉज दे आर इन पैरेलल। ठीक है, तो पैरेलल में है ये दोनों। अब देखो मुझे निकालना क्या था यहाँ पे? सिग्मा 1 सिग्मा 2। डन। तो इस पे चार्ज ले लो सिग्मा 1, इस पे भी सिग्मा 1 होगा, इधर इस पे सिग्मा 2 ले लो बॉटम पे, तो इधर सिग्मा 2 है, नेगेटिव चार्ज। डन। नाउ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का फॉर्मूला आप लोग को पता होगा। इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का फॉर्मूला बिटवीन द प्लेट ऑफ कैपेसिटर क्या होता है? सिग्मा बाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट। एंड आई सेड दैट electric field is sigma by epsilon naught. Done. And I said that की potential difference between these two is same. तो electric field से हम लोग potential difference निकाल सकते हैं ना, E into distance between plates. So for first case, what will be the potential difference? What will be the potential difference between first plate? Between first capacitor, sorry. What will be that? So electric field का value लिख लो, sigma 1 by epsilon naught into क्या करोगे? D, that is 5. Done. Equal to क्या लिखोगे? पोटेंशियल दूसरे के क्रॉस जो होगा वो भी सेम होगा पहले के जैसा, तो क्या लिखोगे? सिग्मा 2 by epsilon naught into D. Now just see कि I have taken notation correctly. Charge density on upper and lower face. Upper पे sigma 1, yes, that I have taken correct. So epsilon naught got cancelled. 5 sigma 1 by sigma 2 किसके बराबर है? D का वैल्यू 8 होगा। ठीक है, so that will be equal to 8. So answer will be what? 8. आंसर क्या होने वाला है? 8 होने वाला है। क्लियर है सबको? Charge distribution, you need to learn how to do that and how to identify such plates when they are kept, whether they are in series or parallel. किसी को डाउट है? Okay, done. Thank you. चलो ये क्वेश्चन, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आई वांटेड टू डिस्कस इट, अनदर वर्जन ऑफ इट आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग टुमारो इन द क्लास टिपिकल मॉडर्न फिजिक्स, अगेन वी विल डिस्कस। अब यहाँ पे देखो क्वेश्चन क्या है, लेट्स रीड इट वेरी केयरफुली। C1 C2 मैंने बस इसलिए निकाला जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन योर डाउट। आपने बोला ना कि ये दोनों सीरीज में है, तो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शो कि ये दोनों पैरेलल में है, इसलिए C1 C2 निकालकर आई सेड ना कि अगर यहाँ पे C इक्विवेलेंट पूछ रहा है तो क्या करोगे, दैट इज व्हाई आई डिड ना, जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन। क्वेश्चन के लिए नहीं निकाला था, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए नहीं निकाला था, वहां पे उसकी जरूरत नहीं थी। अब यहाँ पे देखो क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़ो। 3 monochromatic sources having wavelength 12.4 to 6.21, 24.84 nanometer are placed close to each other. ये क्वेश्चन दिखने में बड़ा लग रहा है, अगर समझ लोगे तो बहुत इजी होगा। तो यहाँ पे देखो 3 लाइट्स हैं, 3 डिफरेंट वेवलेंथ्स के लाइट है, दे आर अलाउड टू फॉल ऑन दिस स्फीयर। डन। Now this is allowed to pass through a lens. What is happening? Just read the question carefully. Let me read also. Each other in front of a converging lens such that equal powers from the 3. All these 3 are letting equal power fall on this one. Okay? So equal power from 3 equal to how much? 1 milliwatt each fall on a converging lens and then on a small spherical conductor of radius this. Done. So very important thing यहाँ पे ये है कि R का वैल्यू 1 सेंटीमीटर है and for all these 3 wavelengths equal power are falling. ठीक है, that is important and that equal power is given 1 milliwatt. So यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन सिंपल इसलिए हो गया क्योंकि क्वेश्चन में गिवन है how much power is falling on this sphere, right? So this is very simple. Its work function given is how much? 62.1. ठीक है, now what is happening? Assume 50% efficiency of emission, means there are three lights. If all the three lights are able to do the photoelectric effect, means if their wavelength is, or if their frequency is greater than threshold frequency, then definitely they will do photoelectric effect. And if they are able to do it, then for each light, only 50% of its photon, suppose this light has, you have taken its power as 1 milliwatt. So if energy, how much energy is falling? 10 to the power minus 3 joule energy is falling per second. So how many number of photon it will have? It will have some number of photon, right? If suppose for one first light I am considering, its wavelength is lambda 1. So energy of one photon will be how much for first light? Hc by lambda 1. So one photon ki energy is this much. How much total energy is falling? 10 to the power minus 3. So how much number of photon of first light is falling? If this much energy, then one photon. If 1 joule energy, it means how many photons? 1 by hc by lambda 1. So if this much energy, how many photon? This into 10 to the power minus 3 karoge aap. Yani ki total energy falling is this one. And if you have to calculate the number of photon, how you will calculate that? You will simply divide that by the energy of light, energy of one photon. Why it is important to calculate? क्योंकि यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है assume 50% efficiency of emission. Done. तो 50% efficiency of emission का मतलब if total number of photon is this, it means only 50% of this photon will be able to do the photoelectric effect, will be able to knock out the electron. So 50% of it you will be taking. It means half of this photon will be able to knock out electron. That is why it's important. Now let's move on to the next section. और क्या बोल रहा है? No change in effective value of work function due to photoelectric emission and potential rise. What is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is that कि यहाँ पे जो आपका स्फीयर है ना, इस पे लाइट फॉल किया, ठीक है? सपोज करो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर निकल गया. अब एक इलेक्ट्रॉन जब बाहर निकला, तो दिस स्फीयर हैज अ चार्ज ऑफ प्लस ई इलेक्ट्रॉन, है ना? जैसे आपने केमिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा कि अगर आपके पास सपोज कर लो कि सेकेंड ग्रुप का मैं कोई भी लेती हूँ, कैल्शियम लेती हूँ, ठीक है? सो कैल्शियम का फर्स्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालना, न्यूट्रल एटम से निकाल रहे हो ना फर्स्ट को, सो फर्स्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकाला. अब सेकेंड इलेक्ट्रॉन को जब तुम निकालने जाओगे तो व्हाट विल हैपन? दिस कैल्शियम इज ऑलरेडी पॉजिटिवली चार्ज, सो मोर अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी यू विल हैव टू गिव, है ना? पढ़े होगे तुम लोग कि सेकेंड आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी हमेशा ग्रेटर होता है फर्स्ट से. क्यों ग्रेटर होता है? क्योंकि इन फर्स्ट case, first electron is getting knocked out from a neutral atom, and now if atom is positively charged, again you are trying to knock out the electron. This electron is getting attracted by this positively charged atom. So to bring it out, now you have to give the more energy. So here it is saying कि अगर electron जा रहा है तो definitely this sphere will attain some positive charge. Done. And to knock out another electron, more energy will require. But it is saying कि you neglect that. Means we have to consider this work function is constant. मतलब same amount of energy we will have to give to knock out the electron. Again, question has been more simplified. Done. So we have to neglect that. यानी कि work function हम क्या लेने वाले हैं? Constant. hc का वैल्यू आपको ये लेना है, ठीक है? At t equal to 8 seconds, switch AC is closed. 8 सेकंड पे स्विच को क्लोज किया गया है. स्फीयर गेट्स कनेक्टेड टू अर्थ वाया रजिस्टर ऑफ दिस. फाइंड द करंट फ्लोइंग जस्ट आफ्टर स्विच इज क्लोज. करंट निकाल दो. तो देखो बहुत ही इजी है. अगर हम क्वेश्चन समझ गए हैं तो हमारे लिए अब इजी होगा. तो सबसे पहले एक काम कर लो, जस्ट चेक विच लाइट विल बी एबल टू डू द फोटो इमिशन, विच कलर ऑफ लाइट्स. ठीक है, तो चलो फर्स्ट लाइट की एनर्जी निकालते हैं. हाउ मच इट विल बी इट्स एनर्जी? hc by lambda. hc वैल्यू वी कैन टेक एज हाउ मच? 1242 by 12.42. सो E1 का वैल्यू कितना आएगा? 100 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट. E2 का वैल्यू कितना आएगा? अगर आप डिवाइड करो 1242 by 6.21. So this will be how much? It will be 200 electron volt, right? And now what will be E3? E3 आप देख लो क्या है? वेवलेंथ 24.84. So 24.84 2 टाइम्स से ये कटेगा, ऊपर 100 जाएगा, 100 by 2 कितना हो जाएगा? 50. वर्क फंक्शन कितना है? 62.1 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट. सो फोटो इमिशन उस लाइट के लिए होगा जिसकी एनर्जी 62.1 होगी या उससे ज्यादा होगी. सो E3 हैज लेस देन दैट ऑफ एनर्जी, वर्क फंक्शन से कम एनर्जी है इस लाइट के पास. सो E3 won't participate in the photoelectric effect, photo emission here. Only E1 and E2 will do. Done. ठीक है. अब देखो मुझे निकालना है करंट. हाउ आई विल डू दैट? सो मैं बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट बताती हूँ. क्या करेंगे हम लोग? हमारे पास स्फीयर है ना, इससे इलेक्ट्रॉन निकला, इसके पास कुछ चार्ज आया होगा, है ना. कितने चार्ज आए होंगे? जितना इलेक्ट्रॉन इमिशन हुआ होगा. सो हमें नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन गेटिंग इमिटेड निकालना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. इफ यू आर गेटिंग चार्ज ऑफ दिस चार्ज accumulated और चार्ज गेन्ड बाय दिस स्फीयर अगर हमें पता है, इसका पोटेंशियल क्या हो जाएगा? KQ by R. करंट क्या हो जाएगा? V by R. ठीक है. तो मुझे D निकालना है. D निकालने के लिए Q निकालना पड़ेगा. तो चलो करते हैं. कैसे करोगे? तो सबसे पहले ये निकाल लो कि हाउ मेनी फोटोन विल पार्टिसिपेट. तो चलो दो लाइट के लिए हमारे पास हो रहा है ना फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट. मैं इन जनरल फॉर्मूला लिखती हूँ पहले. सपोज कर लो E लाइट के लिए हो रहा है, इट्स पावर इज P. सो हाउ मच एनर्जी विल फॉल इन द 8 सेकेंड? P into 8 सेकेंड पे निकालना है ना हमें. सो हाउ मच एनर्जी इज फॉलिंग ऑन दिस स्फीयर इन 8 सेकेंड? P into 8. हाउ मच फोटोन इज फॉलिंग? hc by lambda. This much photon is falling. How many of it is effective? Half. This much. This many is effective. So this number of photon is causing photo emission. यानी कि this many electron is coming out. This is the number of electron. What will be the charge of electron? This into E. समझ गए? So this is the charge of electron. Now this is happening for two lights, E1 and E2. So आप ये वैल्यू दोनों के लिए निकाल लो. E1 के लिए निकाल लो, E2 के लिए निकाल लो. So because of E1, how much charge will come? तो मैं ये निकालने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. P का वैल्यू कितना है? ध्यान से देखना. P का वैल्यू इज हाउ मच? 10 to the power minus 3 into 8. hc by lambda. E1 कितना है हमारा? 100 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट into half into इलेक्ट्रॉन. इलेक्ट्रॉन कैंसिल हो गया. 100 वोल्ट. वोल्ट इज a SI यूनिट, है ना. तो ये तो यूनिट SI है. नो नीड टू डील विथ दिस. Now how much value you are going to get? So this will be equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. ठीक है. Similarly calculate Q2. अब देखो मैं यहाँ पे इसको हटाती हूँ and I will be calculating Q2. Q2 कितना होगा हमारा? Q2 will be equal to P into 8, again 10 to the power minus 3 into 8. E2 एनर्जी कितनी है? 200 into हाफ करेंगे into इलेक्ट्रॉन. यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉन था, वोल्ट था. वोल्ट इज a SI unit. No need to deal with that. Now what will be the value here? 2, 4, 2, 2. How much value we are going to get? 2 into 10 to the power minus 5. Am I correct? Yes. So how many total charges are there? 6 into 10 to the power minus 5. So total charge is 6 into 10 to the power minus 5. V का वैल्यू निकाल लो. 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 6 into 10 to the power minus 5. R कितना था हमारा? 1 सेंटीमीटर था ना? Yes. So this is equal to 10 to the power minus 2. How much it is? 9 into 6, that is 54. और ये कितना होगा? -2, -5, -3. This is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 volt. Done. What will be current? Current will be V by R. So 54 into 10 to the power 6 by R कर लो आप. R का वैल्यू कितना है? 6.75. So this is 6.75. This into 100. अब आप इसको सॉल्व करो. 5 टाइम्स से ये जाएगा आपका yes 135 टाइम्स से. अगेन 4 टाइम्स से ये जाएगा और ये जाएगा इतने टाइम्स से 27. 2 टाइम्स से 54 जाएगा. 4 into 2 8. So current will be 8 ampere. ठीक है. तो अगर आपका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है ना, it was not lengthy, it was not difficult. Only you needed to be careful about the number of photon कैसे निकालना. Done. तो energy falling divided by energy of one photon. Done. Energy falling per second हमें पता है पावर. नंबर ऑफ फोटोन पर सेकेंड P by hc by lambda. 8 सेकेंड की बात की थी तो एनर्जी नंबर ऑफ फोटोन फॉलिंग इन T टाइम कितना होगा? PT by hc by lambda. इफिशियंसी जो है वो परसेंटेज आप यहाँ ऐड करोगे. टोटल चार्ज वैल्यू अगर निकालना है तो E से मल्टीप्लाई करो. ठीक है. So calculation needed to be sharp and quick. Again, this was a question from system identification only. That is why I included it here. How many of you have done this? Okay. Okay, no issue. चलो इसको समझते हैं. Question is very easy actually. If you really understand it, it's very easy. So what the question is? Question ये है कि हमारे पास दो स्केटर हैं, ठीक है? This person first skater है और this person second skater है. इनके बीच में क्या है? एक रस्सी है जिसको इन दोनों ने पकड़ के रखा है. इनके बीच का सेपरेशन क्या है? 5 मीटर. Now they each have one end of a single rope and each pull on the rope with a force of 50 Newton. ये दोनों फोर्स कितनी फोर्स से रोप को खींच रहे हैं? 50 न्यूटन से. यानी कि ये 50 न्यूटन से खींच रहा है, ये भी 50 न्यूटन से खींच रहा है. यानी कि टेंशन इन द वायर विल बी हाउ मच? 50 न्यूटन. ठीक है. कितने टाइम तक खींचा है? 1 सेकेंड तक. वन स्केटर वेट 80 kg. सपोज इसका वेट 80 kg है एंड इसका वेट कितना है? 45 kg. Now we have to see कि when the two skaters meet at a distance of 1.8 meter from the initial position of heavy skater, first option. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक चीज और important है and that important thing is assume no friction between skaters on the and the ice. उनके पाँव के नीचे जो skates होगा ना, उनके और ice के बीच में कोई भी friction नहीं है. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे देखो this question क्या very easily be solved by help of system identification. तो चलो यहाँ पे obvious force कौन सा लग रहा है दोनों के बीच में? रोप का फोर्स, टेंशन फोर्स इन दोनों के बीच में है ये. तो अगर मैं इन दोनों को सिस्टम मान लूं, सपोज आई एम कंसिडरिंग 80 kg plus 45 kg as system. So this rope is between the system. Done. So whatever tension force they are applying on the rope, this became internal force. ठीक है. तो ये internal force हो गया इन दोनों के बीच का. Now what is the benefit of identifying these two as a system? ठीक है. तो वो हम देखते हैं अभी. तो मैंने बोला है कि अगर हमारा सिस्टम पे कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स नहीं लग रहा है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे क्या होगा, इफ सपोज करो मैं एक पर्सन का यहाँ पे बनाती हूँ. सो दिस पर्सन इज व्हाट दिस पर्सन इज डूइंग. This person is pulling second person and second person is pulling first person. So first person पे force इधर की तरफ लग रहा है. अब यहाँ पे देखो कोई फ्रिक्शन नहीं है. So अगर फ्रिक्शन होता तो फ्रिक्शन फोर्स इधर लगता and that friction would have supported this person in standing here only. But since there is no friction, this person will get attracted towards this. Then, so there is no friction force acting, no external force acting. Whatever force is acting is between these two persons only. And because of this, if no external force is acting, linear momentum तो conserve होगा ही. साथ साथ जो हमारा सेंटर ऑफ मास होगा सिस्टम का, वो हमारा रेस्ट में रहेगा. अगर वो इनिशियली रेस्ट में था तो. So initially system is in rest now. So finally also system will be in rest. So whatever is the initial position of center of mass, same position will be of the center of mass at any instant. तो जिस वक्त वो लोग मिले हैं, they have made somewhere now. At that point also, or when they are 5 meters away, at that point also, center of mass location will remain the same. तो चलो पहले center of mass initially निकाल लेते हैं. मैंने फर्स्ट पर्सन को ओरिजिन की तरह ट्रीट कर लिया, ऐसे कुछ रेफरेंस लाइन बनाया. सो सेंटर ऑफ मास का कैलकुलेशन कर लो आप. व्हाट विल बी द कैलकुलेशन हियर? दिस इज 80 kg. 80 into 0 plus 45 is 5 meter away divided by 80 plus 45. This is our center of mass. Done. So what value we are going to get? 45 into 5 divided by 125. So this is 9 by 5. Done. So 9 by 5 means 1.8 meter. So 1.8 meter पे हमारा क्या है? Center of mass है initially. Done. So center of mass मेरा suppose ये point पे है, that is how much? 1.8 meter. Now since no external force is acting, center of mass यही रहेगा. So if they are meeting means they are at the same point, means जहां वो मिल रहे हैं वहां पे ही center of mass होना चाहिए, है ना. So they will meet 1.8 meter from the heavy skater. ठीक है, क्योंकि wherever they are meeting, they are concentrated at that point, and that point can only be the center of mass because their center of mass is not moving. That is at the same location. So 1.8 meter, right? So first option is correct. Second, wrong. Relative velocity of skater when they meet is, their velocities के बारे में पूछ रहा है. Now I have told you कि what will happen, their momentum of the system. यहाँ पे मैंने system एक 80 kg था और एक 45 kg था. इनिशियली दोनों रेस्ट में, दोनों रोप से कनेक्टेड है, दोनों रेस्ट में. तो इनिशियल मोमेंटम ऑफ सिस्टम 0, फाइनल मोमेंटम ऑफ सिस्टम 0 होना चाहिए क्योंकि नो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स एक्टिंग. लेकिन ये बॉडी इधर मूव करेगा, ये बॉडी इधर मूव करेगा, सच दैट दोनों का मोमेंटम जब ऐड होगा तो क्या होना चाहिए, 0. नाउ आई नीड टू कैलकुलेट इट्स वेलोसिटी एंड इट्स वेलोसिटी टू कैलकुलेट द रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी. तो आप ध्यान से देखो 80 kg बॉडी पे क्या फोर्स लग रहा था, इंटरनल फोर्स ही लग रहा है, बट लग रहा है ना 80 kg पे कौन सा फोर्स लगा था, रोप का फोर्स, हाउ मच, 50 न्यूटन. सो एक्सेलरेशन बिकॉज ऑफ इंटरनल फोर्स ऑफ 80 kg body will be how much, 50 by 80, so 5 by 8. and यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में ये बोला है कि 1 सेकंड के बाद they have met, so after 8 seconds what will be its velocity, v equal to what you will be writing for first body, 80. u is 0, initially 80 kg 45 kg both are in rest, so आप इसको 0 मान लो, 5 by 8 into 1. so velocity of 80 kg is 5 by 8 meter per second. Similarly, you can calculate velocity of 45 kg. 45 kg force acting on it is in this direction, 50 Newton. What is the acceleration? 50 by 45. What will be its velocity? 80. That is 50 by 45 meter per second. So if you are going to break it, it will become 10 by 9. So what will be the relative velocity? Relative velocity क्या होता है? Velocity of A with respect to V. यानी कि VA minus VB. Now VA is in this direction, so that is 5 by 8 minus VB is in this direction, negative direction लेंगे, so यहाँ पे minus 10 by 9. So then you will be getting the values. ठीक है? So how much you are going to get? 45 plus 80 divided by 72. So this will be equal to 1 to 5 by 72. So this will be your correct answer and this will be wrong. ठीक है? So what will be my suggestion now onward? सबसे पहले तो आप सारे पेपर को एनालाइज करो. फर्स्ट पेपर I have done. सेकंड पेपर I couldn't क्योंकि टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट होता है. But I will want you to collect some important question. The one you are not able to understand, you can give that to me and I can explain that tomorrow also. ठीक है? So thing is after test just focus on analyzing the paper. Do solve the paper again. That's very important in all 3 subjects, physics, chemistry and maths. So please do that. Okay, done. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you for all the help and support throughout. Keep reading and stay happy, stay positive. ठीक है? काम करो ढेर सारा without taking any burden. Bye bye.